Found myself a cheerleader. Oh, I screamed. I'm sorry, Benny. I'm back. Way up.
It's all right. It's okay. I got you this time.
So excited. Happy New Year. Happy birthday. Big love to you. Big gratitude. All of that good stuff.
Oh, is that just for me or for everyone listening?
Well, you kind of had a birthday.
I did, but I was extending it to everyone else.
Okay, well then happy January birthdays. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep, the
you
big
remember
45, the big 45. I feel like I'm kind of looking down a little bit right now, just a little bit. I think that might be
looking good for 45.
Like, thank
Dang, yeah, like 30 something, right?
you. All teared up.
52 on Saturday. So fellow Capricorn.
Hey! Wait, just a second. I have something for her.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday.
That's awesome, Benny. Thank you. And to you as well.
Of course we're gonna hit it off. Nice. Yeah, 53 in March. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't even know what that even is. People are like, wait, how old are you? And I'm like, you look like you're maybe 40. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what the 50 even is supposed to stand for right now.
Right.
Anyways, look at us. We're just going to jump right into the conversation. I haven't even done an introduction or nothing.
Who's this chica?
Well, I didn't promise, but I said I was going to start the show off with making love to life, my brothers and sisters. Yeah.
I love that. Good. That's literally like week 5 of my coaching training is making love with the universe. And so we're going to have a good time today.
Oh, we're already having a good time. All right. So we are live internationally on YouTube. Hello, everybody. If you're driving, take a nice deep, anywhere you're at, take a nice deep breath because this is going to be a great, juicy, yummy conversation. We're going to inspire you. We're going to love on you. And of course, just like in all of my shows, it's new perspective, new thoughts, new ideas, a new you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Although I will like to do a disclaimer. If there's something in any of this conversation that possibly strikes a chord, irritates you, bugs you, even more so, I would suggest really taking a good look at that and shining a light on that, because that could be something that's stirring on the inside, good, bad, or indifferent. It's all a learning experience. So just take a nice deep breath. And we're going to love on you today. All right. So it is January of 2022. It is energetically, audience, been and has shown up consistently, even last year, that 2022 is going to be epic energetically, epic, making love to life in the universe, all of that amazing, juicy frequencies. And I personally am holding strong to that philosophy, that feeling, that belief, that faith. And I hope that you guys will too. And holding on to that and also releasing all the old beliefs, the old language that we have in our head. Let's get rid of that. There's no reason you should be holding on to that baggage. It's baggage. It's the past. Quite honestly, it's just your nervous system going, that's what I know. I want to stay in fear because that's my norm. We don't want any of that. Let's step into the unknown. And my guest and I, prior to the show, we were talking about the unknown and big time. And I'm just going to say, Allana Banana. I was going to say, there's Benny right there. He's like, see, Sue,
Girl.
there you go. Yes. All right. We are making love to life in the universe. We have an intimacy expert and a global media personality and the go-to authority for those who have suffered heartbreak and are ready to live unapologetically and attract an open-hearted, ideal relationship. She has been chosen as an icon of influence, is a columnist on the GoodMenProject, and has been featured on the Huffington Post, People Magazine, Forbes, CBS, ABC, and Fox, and more. Welcome, lovely one. Look at Benny. Yes.
I still try to wrangle that in. You can see where I'm coming from, right?
Allana Pratt.
Allana Pratt. Yes. Welcome, love. Thank you so much for taking this ride and coming on the show and educating all of us. I love it. Intimacy expert.
Who knew?
Who knew, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I do the formal bio, but you know what? Let's get to know you. What's your why? Let's jump into the juicy part of where this all came from. You're walking the talk, all of that good stuff.
Oh, thank you, sister. Yes, I'm a small town Canadian girl from British Columbia who quit college. I didn't want to take over dad's pharmacy or be a teacher like my mom. So Uncle Phil drove down to LA once a month. So I hopped on his 18-wheeler semi and I quit college and moved to LA to be a dancer because I'd been a dancer since I was like 5 years old, jazz, ballet, tap, all of that. And I was good enough, talented enough, brave enough, but you have to have a visa to work in America, of which I didn't have. So I got a job over in Tokyo. And I went over there and I became a dancer and a model and a spokesperson and an English teacher and a backpacker all over Southeast Asia. And what I realized, I didn't know it at the time, I didn't call it intimacy. But what I realized was I didn't have a relationship with myself. I was wired backwards. Am I good enough? Do you like me? Do you see me? Do you approve of me? Like PhD people pleaser, giving away my truth, my power, anything just to get something that hit on the outside so I could momentarily feel safe on the inside. I hadn't learned how to have an intimate relationship with myself.
Hallelujah, sister.
Right?
Totally. Yes.
And so also I didn't know how to have a relationship with the divine either, because that was also outside of me. And I couldn't even look God and the goddess in the eyes because I was so ashamed that I wasn't perfect. So I was kind of a hot mess. So hot mess, husband number one. I thought, okay, so tall, dark, and handsome, multimillionaire, expat living in Tokyo. This is it. No one else will ever love me. So just shut the F up and just be a good girl and go to school in New York City and go to Columbia University and graduate cum laude and look good and do all the things. But Sue, I would hide in the closet to meditate because that was weird. And my dancing, my sacred sexuality and sensuality was like, what kind of dancer? So much judgment when I got back. Yeah. But over in Japan, all the French girls that I danced with, the body is a divine temple and we are goddesses. But I lost that when I moved back to the States. That marriage, I learned a lot, and yet it ended after 6 years, moved out to Los Angeles, and I found more of my people. I found more spiritual people. It's not weird to meditate in the closet. You can meditate out in the public if you want, like it's okay. And that's when my mom was dying of cancer and I didn't want to feel that loss. So I thought, another man, let's get a baby. This is what we'll do. So I, with a very closed heart, attracted my second husband, but like attracts like, right? And then when mom died and I discovered, oh, I've made another mistake. And I divorced him. From his point of view, I humiliated him. I said I was in it forever and I left after a year. So he decided revenge was the way to go. And that was about a 12-year custody battle that has ended in him living with his dad just to create peace. So I relinquished, he's now an adult, he's 18, but I relinquished custody for the last couple of years just to take the high road. Mom can handle it, create peace. So it's been quite the ride as I forgive myself. I forgive the masculine. I learn how to have an intimate relationship with myself and the divine and my body and my sexuality. So why not create a business around it, right?
Yeah, bring it on. Yeah. I love it. Define, and during the break, audience, we were talking about the paths that if you're of the belief of I am, we created all of this, whatever this is, the experiences, the lesson learned, the conversations, the people, bringing all this into your awareness so you can obtain the education, the wisdom, whatever that is, the education. Define for me, because it also is a journey of self-love, self-forgiveness.
Totally.
And I was with my daughters, I've got 3 grown daughters now, and I was with their dad for 22 years, and that was 3 years ago. So I've been single for 3 years and having that, I get what you're talking about, sister, about the whole attract alike and I'm not going to get into that because it's just not something I'm going to have a conversation around or put my energy on. But where I'm going with this is that intimacy on a whole new level.
Yep.
turning the light on you, shining it on you, taking accountability and responsibility. Not that you didn't before. Now you just have a different pair of glasses on, right?
Yeah. Intimacy for me in the past used to mean bow chicka bow bow, right? Like, intimacy is sex, genital copulation, right? Do whatever they want so that they think you're hot and don't leave you. Like whatever. Like it was very shallow.
That's the 80s. That's
right?
The 80s, 70s, 80s. Yeah.
And so now for me, vulnerability, transparency, honesty, heart openness in the face of anything, sitting in the fire, being real, being raw, being authentic, even if you're risking rejection, even if you can't control the outcome, which of course we can't, right? All of this, it's a capacity from the inside out that I was like, I need to work on this. Let's teach what we need to learn. And so sex falls into this because being that way in the bedroom, of course, is rapturous. To be in the unknown and not know where you end and the other begins because you're so present and real and heart open, and that coherence and the sacred sex magic can all unfold. So definitely applies to our bodies. But if we can't be making love with life, feeling safe in our skin, feeling unapologetic with who we are, not liking rejection, but if I'm not your, cup of tea, that's okay. I bless and release you. If we can't have that relationship on the inside, we will never be vibrationally able to attract it on the outside or sustain it or grow through conflict or have those conversations with your daughters in an intimate way to be that safe, askable parent, or my son. Yep. Intimacy, even intimacy with our purpose, our mission. Like, can we really listen to that? For you, Gus, can you really listen to your feel those whispers, not sort of the cognitive analysis in the head where I can talk myself into or out of anything. But really that deeper womb yoni knowing, that place is a beautiful, intimate relationship to have with yourself.
Yeah, I use that and that tingling feeling. It's that, ooh, there it is.
Yeah, juicy.
Yes, it's juicy and yummy. Benny, you're here with two firecracker women having a good time.
Oh, I know this.
Oh, yes.
I'm staying reserved right now.
Yes. Oh. Intimacy on a whole new level, my friend.
Yes. Patience is virtue.
Yes. And vulnerability and honest communication. Mm-hmm. Yes. Talk to me about relationship, relating, not only for ourselves, but okay, I have attracted what I think. So, and if I back up too, if I have created that self-love for myself, and now it's time to trust in the new decisions that I'm making within the new relationship and the new context of said relationship, how do I trust that in that relating in that relationship? It's this whole dance, right?
Yeah. Well, one of the first places to be aware of is when we get into relationship, how much of our worth, safety, is based on how the other one is behaving, feeling, saying, doing, and how much of that is internally referenced, that in the face of them ignoring you or having a bit of a short moment with you or wanting to go off with the gals or the guys, like, how are you with yourself? I call it little you. And I love, this is what actually happened. One of my direct experiences with the divine, I've probably had maybe a handful of them in my life. When my son first said, Mom, I'm going to go live with Dad, and I need you to take the high road and don't call me, I decided I would have a controlled little nervous breakdown in a cabin in the woods in the middle of nowhere and cry for a good month until I felt better. And I sat on the deck and I could see nature in all directions, no houses. And I wrote down, I'm not good enough. People will opt out of Facebook because I'm a bad mother. Like, maybe I'll die alone. Maybe I'll go bankrupt. Like, every just fear thought I had about this new circumstance in life. And then I added these statements, Sue. I said, even though I may die alone, I love and accept myself. Even though my son might not call me for 10 years or ever, I love and accept myself. And I went down this list And I began to read it, but then I began to dance and embody it and cry and find that little you on the inside who's so scared and so ashamed and so humiliated and so terrified or angry. And I looked her in the eyes, in my mind's eye, when I would say these statements. Even though we may die alone, I have your back. We got this. I love and accept you for exactly who you are. And I started to cultivate this inner relationship. So the images were there, the thoughts were there, the emotions were there, the body sensations were there, all the quantum psychology we know in order to either heal a trauma or create a new state or a new way of being. I sort of just fumbled my way before I'd been even more highly trained in these processes, to a place of direct experience and home. Like, oh my God, even if everything falls away, I still have me. And then instantly in that moment, when I imagine holding little you, I could feel being held by the universe, where there was no edges between me and the divine. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I'm onto something here. I'm onto something. And if I can not be perfect, because nobody's perfect, but if I can lead with this in a relationship, I think I might have a chance at the next relationship actually working rather than my third divorce. And in all transparency, I just broke up with my boyfriend of a year, and I did better, but I still had more to go in terms of insisting that I had my morning practice. Because if I come from empty, I go right into my head and I go into people pleaser. Or if I don't speak up about what I desire sexually and I just settle, I start to get a little crunchy, cranky, and shut down. Or if I am so afraid that he's going to cheat on me, like the first boyfriend when I was a 16-year-old girl, I'm hypervigilant, which makes him feel uncomfortable.
Clingy and codependent, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning. I learned a lot in that relationship. But yeah, it comes back to forgiving ourselves, loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, not as trying to strive for this perfect person. Like, I'll love you if you lose 10 pounds. I'll love you if you keep the guy. I'll love you if you make more money. No. I love you as a hot mess forever, even if you never change for eternity. That's different. And that's the practice.
That's such the practice. There's so much vulnerability, release. And I was having this conversation. There's another obviously in transition and going into 2022, the energy and the frequency of massive surrender, release, surrender, receive, surrender, receive, surrender, receive. And if we are in the spiral of people pleasing, in the spiral of fear, in the spiral of doubt and conflict, all of that contraction, you yourself, your soul, your body, your 3D, your 5D, it's going to be really difficult for you to hear, feel, sense the messages from your divine guidance, whatever that looks like. You're going to get to wherever you think you're supposed to be going. It's just, you might see butterflies or you might see grizzly bears. I'm going with butterflies, my friend. Yes. And time again, the universe guides have shown me, and it is complete surrender and release. Zero expectations. I mean, yes, I have an intended outcome.
Yes.
I at least I think my 3D intended outcome is where I should be going. I'm going to put that frequency out there. I got really clear on what I wanted and desired.
Great. And
then releasing control, because it's not up to me. And if I contract and control, it's the right?
Yeah.
And when I just release and go, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, that's okay too. And it shows up.
Yeah.
In the most incredible ways.
That's delicious. Takes so much courage and bravery, and so much internal referencing of your safety and security, and so much self-worth that if you fall on your face or people reject you, that has nothing to do with your worth. Your worth is inherent. That's just somebody's opinion, or the bank account, or the size of your butt, like all these things that we can't control. Or, well, we sort of can control, but whatever, we can influence, I suppose, is a better way to say. Yeah. This is great.
Totally. Yeah. And the whole rejection aspect of it. And we could have that conversation because, you know, being a mom, rejection, adoption, rejection.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of mommy issues, daddy issues. I don't know, all of that stuff that I have chosen to release the bags of, right? Yeah. And like you have done and decided in that moment, I am worthy, and choosing a language that feels right to you, because that's really important. Because people say, well, all these inspirational quotes and stuff, it's like, but I'm not, you know, your body's calling a BS on that on the internal because it's not aligning with the frequency. So find the language that works for you, right?
Yes.
That's so important. Go ahead,
yes.
Love.
No, I love what you're saying, the frequency, and whether that shows up in languaging with the way you say an affirmation, whether that's the music you play in the morning as you're getting ready, whether that's like slowing down and maybe you don't go to the boot camp anymore to exercise, you decide that dancing is your jam. The body sensations that you let yourself have, slowing down to sip that coffee, to feel the sunshine against your cheeks, to feel, not just think, but like that knowing deep inside that I'm enough exactly as I am and exactly as I'm not, even though I still choose to evolve and grow and do my best and be excellent. No more striving, no more grasping. What would it take for us actually to fill up from the inside out and come from the overflow? That this moment is enough. I am enough. Come home. Oh, it's the biggest gift I believe we can give ourselves. And from that place, this direction, as we surrender to me, surrender is an active state. Like I'm in total allowance. I resist nothing. I allow all. But I'm ready. Like I'm not like giving up or giving in or checking out.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm like, what you got, universe? Bring it. Have your way.
Staying in that and staying in that state of awareness. Like I was alluding to earlier about butterflies or grizzly bears.
Yeah.
I have made an agreement with the divine and the energy saying, all right, let's just do butterflies, no more grizzly bears. And with that, I promise my commitment to you is I will keep my awareness and I will slow down enough.
Yeah.
Stay in that space to hear those.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's hiccups and there's little things that and I'm like, I got it. It's there, right? But it's so true. I want to, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, what I'd like to do, because we're talking about surrender and release, and I know from personal experience and my own journey, and I think you could probably talk to this too, is when your body, your nervous system is wrapped up in trauma. You've got past traumas and you're in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And I mean, this has been my journey from, I don't know how long. It's been my body and everything has been in fight or flight, adrenal failure, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
Those adjectives to describe. I don't have any emotional charge to them. That being said, when we come back, I want to have that conversation about how you can slow down, what it even looks like and feels like to feel your body, to feel those emotions and feel safe in that new environment. Because I tell you, sister, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It has been, and there's lots of numbing out agents. I've been there, done that, there's lots of that, but we're going to have a conversation of truth and feeling. So we're going to take a quick commercial break from the radio world. We're still going to be live on YouTube. So if you'd like to join us there, go on to YouTube, type in 1150 AM, and we will noodle and juiciness over there. We'll be right back. Thanks, Benny.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave me.
Yay! Thank you, Benny. That was perfect.
No problem.
That was awesome.
I have a memory of that song. So 52 next week, 21, 22, Cage, dancing, club, Tokyo, above all the people. Like, that's what I would do. I would dance in shows at night. And then on Friday night, I would dance from 1 to 4 and make another $200 to dance in a cage. You want to pay me to dance to that song in a cage? Okay.
Okay. You are bringing up a memory. I didn't get paid to do this, but I was up at Whistler, Canada. Okay, YouTubers, you're going to hear this. At the same age, dancing in a cage.
Yes,
Wow.
that's awesome.
So much fun. Yeah.
But you're not Canadian though.
No,
but
but
okay.
I lived in Washington for over 40 years.
Yeah.
I love Canada. I would drive up
Whistler's
there every
gorgeous.
weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
beautiful.
my God, that road up to the stunning.
Well,
Yeah.
now that it's changed from the Olympics being up there, it used to just be, 2 lanes back and forth, which was kind of scary, but still beautiful. That whole thing is just,
Horseshoe Bay all the way up there.
all the way up there.
Nice.
Yeah, I miss being able to just drive up there on the weekends. Just to,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's not too many women that I can say, "Hey, cage sister." Like
Maybe you could.
Oh, there we go. Yes, but you were a little smarter about it. You got paid. I just got
We're coming back in.
Had
I
a good
think
time.
this ought to be what you do when you do your little adventure driving around. You can, like, women in their 50s, we all need to have the cage experience, and it is like a coming out of our cages of unapologetic or something. I don't know. Put it on the roof of your truck.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Hang on, gotta bring you in.
Okay. The body is a divine temple, making love to life. What does that mean to you? That's, I'm saying it, but let's turn that around. Let's create a question. Let's create an awareness.
Yeah.
Let's create some clarity in that.
Yeah. And
That
even a
will
little
equal
baby
transformation.
exercise. Because if you check in with your body right now, as you're listening to the show or watching it, I can open to Sue, like I can just choose to open my being, my heart, and I can choose to close. I tend to pop into my head, try to do it right, look good. And then I take another breath and I choose to open my heart, open my soul, open to life, open to you, right? It's a real aperture that we are in charge of. We can be this way on a date, open, close, open, like just check in. You can go to the loo and ask your vajayjay, like, do you like him? Like, does he make you feel open or closed? Like, there is a real wisdom in our body, but we need to slow down and practice. And a lot of us, as we were alluding to before, have been traumatized by various things that happened in our childhood or growing up. And our central nervous system is like, oh, hell no, not going to open up here. And we stay in this sense of like consistent fight or flight or freeze. And so a way to begin practicing that's safe and retraining our nervous system is to open to the universe, open to God, open to the divine. Close. It's a choice.
Let's give it a tactile and an adjective to describe. It's an adjective to describe, but let's give it a tactile, because I know when I was in fight or flight, it didn't matter how many workshops I went to, how many psychologists, psychotherapies, I could not hear what they were saying.
Yeah, because you're freaking out.
Right. And you know this. I didn't even know that I didn't know that I couldn't hear and retain that, right? You're with me. You hit it, sis.
100%. Yes. And it's a journey. It's not a quick fix. This is just one tool. There's a lot of wonderful programs out there. And part of why I am trained and I train my own coaches in these quantum psychology processes is that a lot of us haven't been trained how to feel through to integration. We feel, freak, stay in the trauma. And here's the science behind it. If you can't duplicate the emotion, the thought, the body sensation, and the image, if you can't duplicate that, what you resist persists. It will actually grow. So here we are having a moment of that terror again, 80%. That just grew the terror inside of you. However, if you can be with a practitioner and go through a process to integrate it and be with 100% of that trigger, not for very long, but just for a moment, image, thought, emotion, body, sensation, duplicate it, match it 100%, 10 out of 10, it'll dissolve, evolve, integrate, process into the lesson that life experience was meant to give you in the first place. We're not on the planet to be tortured. We're here to grow through difficulty and challenge. So let's say it was pain into power, or shame into allowance, or betrayal into forgiveness, not as a thought, as an embodied state of being. So these processes are helping us to that's why I love little you. I got you. I got your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got you. Let's breathe just for 10 seconds. At a 10 out of 10, And then, oh my God, you began to integrate this, and you now have the embodiment of, I can sit in the fire and get through anything. And I can then open to the universe. I can open to a flower. I can open to a tree. I can open to a sunset or a sunrise. I can open to a moment and practice. And over time go, oh my God, I am safe. I am more and more experiencing the embodiment of security from the inside out. Yeah. Not that this makes us perfect. Not that it's like a quick fix. It's a practice.
Right.
But it works.
Yes.
And it allows us to exhale in a way that you and I sound like we're very similar. We didn't even know we could exhale that far, that deep. And then that allows for the surrender we were speaking of, to really, the universe to really have its way with us and to dance with the mystery.
I love it. Yes. And there's a few things that are coming up for me, and I've got clients and people that post on the side, or they're asking questions. There's been I've polled my clients and people. One of the top things is I have no energy. Oh. I have zero energy, vitality, zest for life. I want to make love to life again. How do I get there? Right? Yeah. I know that my energy's zapped, and I go into the conversation about, where are you expelling the energy? What about boundaries? Let's get clear on what that looks like.
Yes. Great questions. And I love this, looking, where is the energy going? Because we are energetic beings. We can't create or destroy energy, but what are we doing with it? Is it a thought that you're resisting, that you're spending all your energy resisting? Is it a person? Is it an environment? Is it a habit of life? Because you are putting it somewhere. And for me, when I'm really, really tired, I go, okay, what am I tired of? Great and it's question. Tired of a thought, tired of a person, tired of a circumstance. I'm tired of something.
Yep.
And I'm making it real because I don't want to feel what's underneath that. When people say,
I want to stop for the audience here. Did you guys hear that? Because that was an accountability and responsibility statement. You are asking the question within yourself, not saying, why did XYZ happen to me? Why does this keep happening to me? Because we know that dialogue, don't we?
The why, that's a loop you can stay in until they kick dirt in your face. It's not going to get you anywhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah. Why does it happen? Because it did. Why do scorpions sting? Because they do. That's the end of the statement. Done. Let's move on. Yeah. That it's and it is it fair? No. That's another thing. Like, let's get over it, that life needs to be, and it's an interesting comment. And I think we're going to say the same thing, but maybe come at it from a different point of view. Grizzly bears or butterflies. Of course, I would always choose the butterflies. However, my experience of life is that it's duality. You cannot have joy without experiencing sadness to carve that well into which joy can be poured. Joy and sadness are actually on the same spectrum, just two opposite sides. We can't escape the grizzly bears. We can't escape pain. There's actually gifts in pain. And so if we can dance with the grizzly bears in little tutus, not resist them, then we are in resistance to nothing, allowance of all, and we can see the beauty in a breakup.
There is a psychology and an energetic exchange with grizzly bears. Now, yes, I totally believe in that contrast in the butterflies and the grizzly bear. Bang on. Got you, sister. However, what I have learned and done and how I teach, it's how I'm going to react energetically, whether it's 3D, 5D, how am I going to process said information that the grizzly bear is coming at, or the butterfly?
Yeah.
You know what? I am choosing love and trust. And there's a thing that I coined, and I'm so proud of it. It's called the CCs in life. It's compassionate curiosity.
Nice.
Get really curious and have compassion for what's happening, because it takes the sting out.
Yes.
Isn't that juicy?
Beautiful. Yes. Oh. Just add a little ass slap to it, and then we're on the same page. Yeah.
Right? Compassionate curiosity with an arse slap.
Yep. Yes. And that way it stays in our body. And that way we don't overanalyze in our mind. And that way we feel empowered and we go, I got this. I can be compassionately curious. I can lean into the grizzly bears and let's have a cup of tea together and see what your message is. I can respond, not react. I'm in charge. Yeah.
Yes. I am in charge. Yeah. I have spent my life breaking down the Rubik's Cube of personal development and finding real-time, real life self-regulating tools
Yes.
to sustain this space, 3D and 5D. And it's crazy and fun and juicy. And there was an example. I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day, and they're traveling and they were all frustrated and contracted. And this is an example, right, of the contraction, the butterflies and grizzly bear, and how your mindset is.
Yeah.
And the flight was delayed and they were getting a little pissy and da. I'm like, and then I don't know, an hour later, they said, oh, the sunrise is absolutely beautiful. The colors are vibrant. And I'm like, well, then there's your answer. That's why the flight was delayed. So you could see the beauty in the sunrise. Take it differently, right? Take a deep breath.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But our point of view does create our reality. And yet
Yes, it
the
does.
presupposition to that point of view, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling
Yes.
scared, if you're feeling mad, if you're feeling the universe is out to get you and doesn't have your back, it's very difficult to have that point of view. So what are those foundational practices right out of the gate so that we can look for the gift in things? We can look for the advantage in things. And there's
opportunities.
there's a book, what is it called? Tufti, the priestess, I think it's called. But anyways, everything that happens, they instruct us to say, advantage. What's the advantage? And when you can look at grizzly bears or the flight being delayed or the divorce or the breakup or whatever it is, that, oh my God, this is for me too. What is the advantage? You'll find it. It's in the field. What is we generally only see the suffering half of our field of reality, right?
Yes.
But the other half is there. And I remember this day, my mom died. I was 32. And I remember feeling, I've never seen a dead person. I'm like, she's really not in there. Oh my God, where did she, and the pain. But I kept breathing through the pain, like we've been saying, like 1 potato, 2 potato, breathe, breathe. I'll breathe this. And then all of a sudden I felt all this love because she was free. She was out of pain. So in one moment, the whole spectrum of reality, like total pain, total ouch, into love and bliss and freedom, and she's free and she's everywhere now, all in one moment. And then that weekend was my sister's wedding. So we just pretended mom was on vacation and got very drunk, and I got pregnant. So 9 months later, there I am giving birth, and you have three little ones, so, or big girls now, but like, you know that moment, right? When you're looking in their eyes for the first time. So the whole spectrum, this time it started with bliss. Oh, it's a miracle. That little one that was kicking my ribs is looking in my eyes. And then the next thing is, oh my God, how do I keep them alive? They're going to die. Oh my God. So you're right into fear. That whole spectrum, again, in the moment, right? So if we're really real and we slow down and we are holding our little you, there is both bliss and pain in every moment, both challenge and support, both, pain and pleasure. Every moment has all of it. We suffer. My opinion is we suffer when we clamor for the good and resist the bad, right? Then we get on that roller coaster of elation, depression. But if we can really do our best, and it's a practice, have the point of view that everything is for me, and that even too much pleasure, I don't know if you've ever left the kid on the top of the car and then driven off, but I mean, there's like too much bliss and pleasure. We forget the kid, we forget to pay the taxes, we forget things, okay? So too much pleasure, not so good, right?
Yeah.
But so there's a gift in pleasure, and there's actually a detriment, there's a gift in pain, and there's actually a detriment to too much nonstop drinking wine all night long for days on end. Like, it's too much, okay? So when we know that, then we really can know that life is for us. Everything is for us. And we can lean in, we can open up and be brave, conscious, or what was it? Compassionate curiosity and a little ass slap, and you're good to go.
Yeah. And recognizing, having the awareness. And we started the conversation about self-love.
Yeah.
And having that self-love, and not the criticism and the shame and the guilt that automatically comes up because you feel like you're doing something wrong, or somebody has made you feel like you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
This whole conversation, audience, is about taking your own power back. If you don't know what that looks like, we can help, but we're going to get to that in just a minute, because you have a special little goodie that I want to make sure I tell the audience. But I also want to remind the audience, you have a big fat permission slip to ask for what you want, to be who you want. Now, granted, with the disclaimer, you're going to show up in love and joy and service. That is great. If you're going to choose to do something else, there's going to be something else for you, right? You know, you've got to make that choice and get clear on what that is for you. And we were talking about the fight or flight and the nervous system and not knowing what you don't know, not even knowing what questions to ask because you're in such spin out.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Take a breath, get in and feel your body. And it's okay. It's okay if you cry. It's okay. You have permission to feel all of that. Get it out of your body.
Yes. Yes. Move it through. You know, I love to just go for a walk in nature with little you. I imagine I just put her on my shoulders and away we go. And I slow down and I say, tell me, sweet thing, what I haven't slowed down to hear you say. What do you want to let me know? And she has a lot to say when I honor her like that. And I don't fix her. I don't go in to go, okay, well, let's talk about this so that we can be happy again. Like I go in to say, wow, you have every right to feel this way. Yes, I acknowledge you. Tell me more. Right. And when that part of us is completely heard, understood, our ego wants to be right and look good, but our soul, our heart just wants to be held, heard, seen, and understood. And it does calm down. And then on the other side of that acknowledgement of self, connection with self, intimacy with self is wisdom, is that nudge, is that, oh, I should call them. They've been on my mind. Why don't I make a call about that? You'll be guided. You'll hear what you know. You'll get good in your body of feeling light and expansive or contractive and heavy, the juicy tingles or the, oh, hell no. Like you'll get to trust yourself and hear the universe speaking to you. And then life can become more of a pleasure to lean in and dance with the mystery and take adventures like I'm moving to India. What? I am a 52-year-old backpacker. No, I'm not going to backpack this time, but
you're going to cage dance.
That's right. We're going to cage dance. We found out that on our YouTube break that we're both past cage dancers. Yeah. Yeah. But that's how otherwise, to me, what's the point of living if I'm just going to keep spinning out of desperation and fear with a fake happy smile on my face? Not worth it.
No, living somebody else's expectation, living somebody else's thoughts and desires. And it's not, I say expectations because you're living in somebody else's expectation.
Yeah.
They are expecting themselves to live X, Y, Z. And I came from all of this. I know this intimately. And we've had this dance for whatever reason. Now we're teaching what we most need to learn or learning what we most need to teach. Or no.
Yes. Yeah.
All of it, right? And not taking things personally, raising 3 daughters. Good Lord, help me.
Yeah.
Still reeling through all of that. And similar to what you had experienced with yours. And it's okay. I'm surrendered and released. And the best thing, and I think that I could do for myself, that my little one, my little girl, is just to keep loving on myself, keep living my life, keep reinventing what that looks like and feels like and honoring it. And I say this out loud because I want you all to hear what that looks like and feels like, and getting rid of the expectations and the guilts and the shames.
Yes.
Drop the damn bags, drop them.
Yeah. Really, when we make love with life, we decide that life is on our side. We receive guidance and help, and we know we deserve support just because we exist. Okay. And then we can follow what delights us, what turns us on, what enlivens us, what makes us feel juicy and creative, and that we could do all day, even if they paid us or they didn't. Like, follow that trail and be willing to be highly compensated and supported so that you can give from the overflow and impact more of humanity and be even brighter light, that there's nothing to be ashamed of in receiving support in all the forms that we can receive. And then be brave and kind to yourself, kind to others, brave, and go for it. Because when COVID hit a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I sensed this mental health crisis coming. And I also was getting older, and I thought, well, I don't want to continue just having one more client when I'm 95 years old. It's time to leverage what would delight me.
Yes.
And so that's when I started to create this app. And it's called Heartmates instead of a soulmate, a heartmate. And I'm literally moving to India to work with the team to take this to the next level, something I never would have imagined ever. And yet this is what's most important to me, to love my customers, my clients, to provide this really juicy intimacy curriculum, to give them a live place to meet every single week with these conscious connection calls where we ask deep, meaningful conversations, and all you get to say in response is, thank you. So we get this central nervous system experience of being safe, seen, and understood and heard over and over. And we can take that into relationship. And then eventually, once the dating portion of the app is live, to be able to date other people on the path who, when things get a little, wobbly, they lean in and open their heart. They don't close their heart and ghost you. Like, where is that safe, conscious place to date like-minded, but also like-hearted people? Well, that's what I'm creating. Yes,
of course you are. Of course you are.
For you, for me, all the single ladies and all the
single ladies and the men too. Yeah, I have defined, and I'm just going to segue really quick. I don't know what I did with it. I'm looking around my office, but I have got really clear on my aligned alpha.
Nice.
Yes.
Your AA. Okay, tell us.
My AA, baby, my aligned alpha. Nice. I have a whole list of what that looks like. I put it on a piece of paper and I'm like, all right, here we go.
Nice.
Yeah. And now making choices based on that and not diminishing myself.
Yeah.
Not sacrificing, still loving and blessing. Totally okay. Beautiful. And there's a conversation when you bring up the conversation about having relation or relating with an open heart. I'm that always, really. I mean, there's times where I shut it down only to protect myself, and that's a boundary. There's no right or wrong around that. But where I'm going with this is there's men and women that I have met within the single realm or married to, not that I'm dating the married ones. I'm just, bear with me as I go through this conversation about the open heart.
Yeah.
It is about being heard. You said being heard, seen, and that connection, and having the open heart enough to just love human to human. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Just human to human.
Yeah.
There's no expectations, no responsibilities, nothing.
Yeah.
Let's just love human to human. And if you've got a different point of view, great. You go do your different point of view. I'm going to go do mine over here. Whatever that looks like, and that's okay.
This is good. As we are single and we have our deal breakers, or whatever you want to call them, our AAs, our aligned alphas, and we get super, super clear. If we get attached, then what you get attached to, you're obviously going to push away. So I love this. Just love human to human. Just be, no waiting around, live fully, be with your friends, follow your dreams, do what turns you on, be juicy, be alive, right? Be as if they're already here waiting for you at home. How would you feel as you went out for the day? And even when you get home, if they were home as you're bending over and taking off your underwear or getting dressed or whatever it is, like, what would it feel like that they were right there? Saying, God, you're a goddess. You're so beautiful. I'm just so lucky to be with you. Those are feelings of having them. Those are different than feelings of where are they? Why haven't I met them? And let's just have a good attitude being single. Like, it's a different experience. And that's why making love with the universe is a great daily practice, because you're not waiting around to literally have pleasure, to feel seen, to shine unapologetically. You're just, what do you have for me today, life? Here's what I bought.
Let's play. Let's jump in the mud puddle.
Right? And it makes you really sexy because you're not waiting for an external circumstance in order to be you or to feel enough, which is very radiant and a vortex for ideal matches, friends, lovers, the one, the whole thing, clients, life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it down as my aligned alpha, and it's there. I am so not attached to any kind of relationship right now. I am so free. And I know that in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm good. I've been taking care of people externally all of my life. It's my turn now.
My turn. Right? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fist bump, high five, ass slap. Jump through the camera, hug you. Yeah. Well, that's what, to me, when I get to India, I get to have a cook and a maid. I know, and a driver, and I'm going to do Ayurveda, and I'm going to do like cleanses and massages and all that oil all over my body. And I'm going to find a place to go paddle boarding because it's right in the south on the water and lush jungles to hike through. I am
kitty cat.
Oh, did you see my kitty cat? Where is she? Yeah.
Thank you.
She's coming. She's coming to India. The two girls are going to take off. Yeah. What would be possible? I think I'm coming from the overflow, but if I was really honest and slowed down, no, I've been putting everyone else first. Boyfriend first, clients first, investors first. And, you know, at the very end of the day, a glass of wine is I just catch my breath and then do it all over again. That's not sustainable. And that's not walking my talk. Yeah. And so, yeah, what would it be like to have this partnering app? We're calling it not a dating app, but a partnering app, because dating apps are designed to keep you single. They make money if your relationship doesn't work.
Yeah.
We go from heartmates for singles into heartmates for couples because we're interested in you keeping the one. But what would it be like to partner with myself in a way that I never have before? And I invite all of us, what would the next level of self-love, self-care, self-partnering look like in 2022 so that you could be your most authentic, juicy self, and just allow that to be the way, become the one to find the one rather than find the one from emptiness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and talked about the app. Do you want to tell people more about that, or what would you like to do, love?
Yeah. I just wanted people to know that like I'm a work in progress. And so as you're going for your dreams this year, like whatever delights you, just keep going in that direction. So yeah, this heartmates.app is where you'll sign up. The dating portion is still in beta, but the intimacy curriculum is live. The conscious connection calls, meeting other people and practicing this authentic, intimate communication is live. We welcome you there. And then there's a complimentary intimacy blind spot quiz on my site, allanapratt.com. And all of us conscious people are amazing. And I can see Sue's blind spot and she can see mine, but we can't see our own to save our life.
But we're loving each other through it, right? Yes. It's not shame and guilt, baby. No. None of that.
Yeah.
Let me give everybody your website, honey. I'm going to spell it out, audience. ALLANAPRATT.com. Do you want me to do the /?
Oh yeah. /connect is how you can also have an intimacy blind spot breakthrough call as well.
Yes.
If this is resonating with you and you're like, okay, let me take my power back even more and find my juicy. Making
love to life. Sister, it's a connection. It's done. We're tethered. I am so proud of you. So thankful. And I am so excited for your next journey. So excited for you. And do stay in connection, because I would love to be able to support you in any way that I can. I mean that wholeheartedly.
So thank you so much. Absolutely. I'll be coming back twice a year for retreats that I lead. So I'll see where you are on the planet. We can dance, find a cage and dance.
I might be going there. Who knows? Right?
Come visit me. That would be amazing. Yeah, fun.
Let's do it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. It's been an incredible day. Benny, thank you. Appreciating you. And happy birthday.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, both of us.
Yes, happy birthday, Benny. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. This has been such a delicious delight.